Choosing a political ideology can feel like navigating a maze. Did you know that up to 40% of our political views might be inherited? That's right, our beliefs are partly in our DNA. But it's not just about genes. Our values, life experiences, and even our friends shape our political beliefs. In this video, we'll guide you through 6 practical tips to help you choose a political ideology that fits you. We'll decode your political DNA, bust common myths about political labels, and take you on a tour of global ideologies. You'll also learn how to navigate political news, engage in meaningful discussions, and find your role in the political landscape. Here's a shocking fact: only 25% of Americans identify as moderates, meaning the rest are split between more defined ideologies. With so many perspectives out there, finding where you stand is more important than ever. Stay tuned as we dive into these fascinating topics, uncovering surprising facts and offering actionable strategies. Whether you're new to politics or looking to deepen your understanding, this video is for you. Let's get started. Chapter 1: Decoding your political DNA. Understanding your political ideology starts with decoding your political DNA. Our values, upbringing, and experiences shape our beliefs in subtle yet significant ways. Let's dive into how this works. First, think about your core values. Do you prioritize equality or personal freedom? According to a Pew Research Center study, people who value equality tend to lean liberal, while those who prioritize personal freedom often lean conservative. Next, consider your family background. Did your parents discuss politics at the dinner table? Research shows that political beliefs can be inherited. A study from the University of California, San Diego, found that up to 40% of our political views can be traced back to our genes. Your life experiences also play a huge role. Have you traveled or lived in different countries? Exposure to diverse cultures can broaden your perspective and influence your political views. According to political scientist Ronald Inglehart, people with more diverse life experiences are more likely to support progressive policies. Education is another key factor. College graduates are more likely to identify as liberal. The Pew Research Center reports that 59% of Americans with a postgraduate degree lean Democratic. This might be because higher education often exposes people to a wider range of ideas and critical thinking skills. Media consumption shapes our beliefs too. What news sources do you trust? A 2018 study by Harvard University found that people who consume a variety of news sources are better at understanding multiple viewpoints, leading to more nuanced political beliefs. Peer influence shouldn't be underestimated either. Who are your friends? Our social circles can significantly influence our political views. According to a study published in the journal Nature, people are more likely to adopt the political views of their close friends over time. Religious beliefs also impact political ideology. For example, regular churchgoers in the US are more likely to lean conservative, as noted by the Pew Research Center. This trend is linked to the values promoted by many religious institutions. Your occupation can even play a role. People working in social services or education often lean liberal, while those in business or engineering might lean conservative. This is tied to the different priorities and daily experiences in these fields. An interesting fact is how birth order can influence political views. A study by the University of California, Berkeley, found that firstborn children are more likely to be conservative, while younger siblings often lean liberal. This might be because firstborns tend to identify more with parental authority. Understanding these factors helps us see why we believe what we believe. It's a mix of nature and nurture, personal experiences, and external influences. So, take a moment to reflect on your own political DNA. Knowing where your beliefs come from can empower you to make more informed decisions and engage in more meaningful political discussions. This self-awareness is the first step in choosing a political ideology that truly aligns with who you are. Chapter 2: Myth-busting political labels. Political labels often come with a lot of baggage. Let's bust some myths and uncover what these labels really mean. First off, what is a liberal? Many people think liberals want big government and high taxes. But that's not the whole story. Liberals generally believe in government action to achieve equal opportunity and equality for all. They often support social programs, but this doesn't mean they want excessive government control. A common myth about conservatives is that they don't care about social issues. However, conservatives often focus on personal responsibility and believe that a smaller government promotes more individual freedom and prosperity. They value tradition and are cautious about rapid change. Libertarians are sometimes misunderstood too. People think they want no government at all. In reality, libertarians advocate for minimal government intervention in personal and economic matters. They believe in individual liberty and free markets. Socialists often get labeled as wanting to abolish all private property. But many socialists advocate for a democratic approach where the community collectively controls the economy, aiming to reduce inequality and provide public services. Another interesting label is progressives. Many confuse them with liberals, but there's a difference. Progressives focus on systemic change to address social injustices. They often push for reforms that challenge the status quo more aggressively than traditional liberals. Let's talk about centrists. Some see them as indecisive, but centrists seek a balanced approach, taking ideas from both the left and right. They often support compromise and practical solutions over strict ideological adherence. Did you know that political labels can vary by country? In Europe, for instance, liberal often refers to what Americans might call libertarian. It's important to understand these nuances when discussing politics internationally. A fun fact: the term liberal originally meant something different. In the 19th century, it referred to those who supported free markets and limited government, quite similar to what libertarians advocate today. Let's debunk the myth that all conservatives are against environmental protection. Many conservatives support conservation efforts but prefer market-based solutions rather than government regulations. One interesting statistic from the Pew Research Center is that about 25% of Americans identify as moderate, meaning they don't fully align with either liberal or conservative ideologies. This shows there's a significant portion of the population looking for middle ground solutions. Quotes from influential thinkers can also shed light on these labels. As John Stuart Mill said, a person may cause evil to others not only by his actions but by his inaction, and in either case he is justly accountable to them for the injury. This highlights the liberal view on government intervention. In contrast, Ronald Reagan famously said, "Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives." This encapsulates the conservative belief in limited government. Understanding these labels helps us communicate better and avoid misunderstandings. Labels can simplify complex beliefs, but they also come with stereotypes that don't always hold true. So, next time someone mentions they are liberal, conservative, libertarian, or socialist, take a moment to think beyond the stereotypes. Ask questions and understand their specific views. This approach fosters better discussions and more informed decisions. By busting these myths, we can better understand each other's political beliefs and engage in more meaningful conversations. This clarity is essential for choosing a political ideology that reflects our true values. Chapter 3: Global Perspectives, Ideologies Around the World. Exploring political ideologies worldwide opens up new perspectives. Let's dive into some unique political systems and beliefs from around the globe. In Scandinavia, social democracy is a popular ideology. Countries like Sweden and Norway combine a free market economy with strong welfare programs. This model aims to balance economic efficiency with social equity. A World Happiness Report consistently ranks these countries among the happiest in the world. Moving to Asia, let's look at Singapore. Its government is a unique blend of meritocracy, authoritarianism, and capitalism. Known as the Singapore model, it emphasizes strict laws, a competitive economy, and a focus on education. Despite its small size, Singapore boasts one of the highest GDPs per capita globally. In Latin America, you'll find the concept of Bolivarianism in Venezuela. Named after Simon Bolivar, this ideology mixes socialism, nationalism, and anti-imperialism. Hugo Chavez popularized it in the early 2000s, aiming to reduce inequality and increase government control over the economy. Heading to Europe, Switzerland offers a fascinating example of direct democracy. Citizens regularly vote on national referendums, giving them a direct say in government decisions. This participatory approach has helped maintain political stability and high levels of public trust in the government. Did you know about Bhutan's Gross National Happiness, GNH? Instead of focusing solely on economic growth, Bhutan measures success by the happiness and well-being of its citizens. This unique approach integrates spiritual, physical, social, and environmental health. In the Middle East, the political ideology of Iran combines theocracy with democracy. The supreme leader holds significant power, but there are also elected bodies like the president and parliament. This dual system creates a complex political landscape, balancing religious and democratic principles. Australia's political landscape is shaped by its fair go culture. This ideology emphasizes equality and fairness, influencing policies on healthcare, education, and workers' rights. The fair go ethos underpins much of the country's progressive legislation. An interesting fact, in Japan, the Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, has been the dominant political force since its founding in 1955. The LDP combines conservative and liberal policies, focusing on economic growth, social stability, and a strong national defense. South Africa's political ideology is heavily influenced by its history of apartheid. The African National Congress, ANC, which has been in power since 1994, promotes a mix of socialism and nationalism aimed at redressing past inequalities. Nelson Mandela's legacy continues to shape the nation's political discourse. Did you know that New Zealand was the first country to grant women the right to vote? This pioneering step in 1893 reflects its progressive political culture. Today, New Zealand continues to lead in areas like environmental policy and social justice. In Germany, the concept of ordoliberalism shapes its economic policies. This ideology advocates for a strong regulatory framework to ensure fair competition and prevent monopolies, while maintaining a free market economy. Chapter 4: Media Literacy, Navigating Political News. In today's digital age, media literacy is crucial for understanding politics. Let's explore strategies to navigate political news effectively. First, diversify your news sources. Don't rely on just one outlet. According to a study by the American Press Institute, people who get their news from multiple sources are better informed and less biased. Check the credentials of the authors and the publication. Are they reputable? Do they have a history of reliable reporting? This helps you avoid misinformation and fake news. The Pew Research Center found that 64% of Americans think fabricated news stories cause confusion about basic facts. Look for primary sources. Whenever possible, go straight to the source, like official government reports or original research. This can give you the most accurate information without any editorial spin. Be wary of sensational headlines. They are designed to grab your attention but can be misleading. A study from Stanford University found that people often remember the headline but not the context, leading to misconceptions. Fact-checking is essential. Websites like Snopes, factcheck.org, and PolitiFact can help verify claims. According to the International Fact-Checking Network, there has been a significant rise in fact-checking organizations worldwide, reflecting the need for accurate information. Understand the difference between news and opinion. News reports aim to inform, while opinion pieces aim to persuade. Recognizing this distinction helps you evaluate the content critically. Pay attention to the publication date. Old news can sometimes resurface and cause confusion. Make sure the information is current and relevant to the present context. Beware of echo chambers. Social media algorithms often show us content that aligns with our existing beliefs. This can reinforce our biases and limit our exposure to diverse perspectives. A study by MIT found that false news spreads faster and more widely than true news, particularly on social media. Engage in critical thinking. Ask yourself, what is the evidence? Is the argument logical? Are there any biases? This analytical approach helps you discern the quality of the information. Look for balanced reporting. The best news stories present multiple viewpoints and let you draw your own conclusions. The BBC, for example, is known for its balanced coverage and is widely regarded as a reliable source. Be cautious with memes and infographics. While they can be informative, they often oversimplify complex issues. Always cross-check the information with a reliable source. Join discussions and forums. Engaging with others can help you see different perspectives and deepen your understanding. However, make sure to verify any claims made in these discussions. An interesting fact, a Pew Research Center survey found that people who engage with news through social media tend to be less knowledgeable about current events compared to those who use more traditional sources. Remember the power of visual literacy. Images and videos can be manipulated. Use reverse image search tools to verify the authenticity of visual content. Educate yourself about cognitive biases. Knowing about biases like confirmation bias or the Dunning-Kruger effect can help you understand how your mind processes information. Finally, stay curious and open-minded. The goal of media literacy is not just to consume information but to understand and question it. As Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.